Hello everyone, this is Teacher Marcel, and today we're going to add and subtract similar fractions. Before we proceed to our lesson, let us define first what are similar fractions. These are fractions with same denominators. For example, 3/8 and 1/8 are similar fractions because they have the same denominator 8. And 3/11, 5/11, 9/11, and 11/11 are also similar fractions because they have the same denominator, which is 11. So we have to remember that before we can add or subtract fractions, they must have same denominators. Okay, so here in our first lesson, we have fractions with same denominators, so we can add them easily. I hope you will learn a lot in this video. Let's read our problem. A pizza is sliced into 8 equal parts. Jack ate 3 slices of pizza while Jake ate 1 slice. How many slices did they eat? So we can illustrate a picture of pizza that is divided into 8 equal parts, like that. Or we can use area model. Okay, like this. So this is divided into 8 equal parts. So we know that our denominator is 8. Okay, so let's take a look at the given information in our problem. So we have 3 slices and 1 slice. Okay, and we know that it's divided into 8 equal parts. Okay, so for Jack, he ate 3 slices. Okay, so let's have these 3 slices of pizza. Let's shade this part. Okay, so that's for Jack. And Jake ate 1 slice. So let's have this part for Jake. All right. Okay, so how many slices did they eat together? So we have to combine the number of slices that they ate. So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So together they ate 4 slices out of 8 slices. Okay. Or let's look at the pizza. Look. From here, they ate this part. Okay, what can you say? They ate half of the pizza. All right. So which is the same as when we simplify 4/8? How do we simplify? So we will divide it by its GCF, which is 4. So what is 4 divided by 4? 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And our answer is 1/2, which is the same as when we compare it to our area model. They really ate half of the pizza. Okay? There's also another way of adding fractions or similar fractions without using area models. So let's have the same problem, and we know that the given information is that it's divided into 8 equal parts, and then Jack ate 3 slices and Jake ate 1 slice, and we know that we're going to add. Okay, so we can just write our equation. So since it's divided into 8 equal parts, we know that the denominator is 8. And if Jack ate 3 slices, then it's 3/8. Then plus Jake ate 1/8 of the pizza. So we can just follow 3 simple steps. First is to add the numerators. 3 plus 1 is 4. Then copy the denominator, which is 8. Then simplify. And we know that 4/8 when simplified is 1/2. Alright? And we will get the same answer. So again, add the numerators, copy the denominator, then simplify or express it in its lowest term. Let's take a look at our example. We have 7/10 plus 3/10. Here we're going to use area model. So this is divided into 10 equal parts. And we're going to add 7/10. Let us shade 7 parts out of 10. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one is 7/10 up to here. Okay, so we take up all these 7 parts out of 10. Then we will add 3/10. Let's shade 3 out of 10. 1, 2, and 3. So this part is the 3/10. Okay? And so now, how many parts are shaded? 10. How many equal parts are there? 10 also. Okay? Or we shaded everything. So we shaded the whole. So it's 1. Alright? Okay, so it's the same thing. We can do this. We can shade and we can see that it's 1 whole, or we can just add the numerators. 7 plus 3 is 10 over 10. Just copy the denominator. And simplify. 10 out of 10 is 1 whole. Okay, as you can see, we got the same answer. Now, let us answer the following with just adding the numerators, copying the denominator, and simplify if necessary. So let's start with example 1. So the rule is to add the numerator. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Copy the denominator, 5. But this is not our final answer yet. We cannot have an improper fraction as our final answer. We should change it to mixed numbers. Okay, and what is 6/5? Let's correct 1 and 1/5. So this is our final answer. Okay, let's go to the second example. In here we have 3 addends. So we have 4/15 plus 2/15 plus 2/15. Okay, remember, if we have the same denominator, then we can add the fraction and we can just add them by adding the numerators. So let's add the numerators. 4 plus 2 plus 2 is 8. Then let's copy the denominator, 15. Okay, is this already in its simplest form or in lowest term? Yes, because there's no other factor except 1. All right. In example 3, we have a mixed number plus a whole number. So this is easy. We will just add the whole numbers. 2 plus 3 is 5. And let's just copy the 4/5. So 5 and 4/5 is our answer, number 3. Okay, let's have the next example. 8, let's add the whole numbers. 8 plus 2 is 10. Then 4 plus 1 is 5. Copy the denominator, 7. 10 and 5/7. It's already in its lowest term. So that's how you add similar fractions or fractions with the same denominators. You just add the numerators, copy the denominator, then simplify if you need to. We'll use the same concept or the same steps when subtracting similar fractions. So in here we have 7/10 minus 3/10. So again, this is divided into 10 equal parts. So let's take 7/10. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7/10 or 7 out of the 10. Right? Minus the 3/10. So here we are subtracting. So instead of shading another 3, we're going to get 3 from the 7 parts that we shaded. So it's like we will remove this 3. Okay, so what's left? What's left is only these 4 parts. Okay, these 4 shaded parts out of the 10. Okay, so 7 minus 3 is 4. And then we need to simplify. It can still be divided by 2. It's GCF. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 2/5. Alright, so how do we do that? In terms of just subtracting the numerators and copying the denominator. So it's 7 minus 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. Then copy denominator, which is 10. Simplify. 2/5. Alright, and our answer is the same. So again, if you are subtracting similar fractions, just subtract the numerators, copy the denominator, then simplify. Let's solve these following problems using the rule. So we have 4/5 minus 2/5. Since we have the same denominator, then we can just subtract the numerators. 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. Then copy the denominator, 5. Is it already in its lowest term? Yes. So this is our final answer. Alright, so we have here in number 2, we have 7 and 4/5 minus 3. So since we don't have any fraction here, we may just subtract the whole number first. 7 minus 3 is 4. And then we just copy the 4/5. Okay, so we have 4 and 4/5. 8 and 4/7 minus 2 and 1/7. So we may just subtract the whole numbers. 8 minus 2 equals 6. 4 minus 1 is 3. Then copy the denominator, 7. Is 3/7 already in lowest term? Yes. So this is our final answer. Okay, so that's how you do it. Subtract the numerators, copy the denominator, then simplify. Let's have another set of examples. In our 3 examples, we are going to have borrowing. Okay, so what do we mean by that? Or renaming. Okay, for example, in number 1, we have 1 and 2/5 minus 4/5. So here we cannot just subtract 2/5 minus 4/5, right? So we cannot take away 4 from 2. So what do? We have to borrow from the whole numbers. And how do we borrow, or how do we rename? We have to follow whatever is the denominator. So whatever is the denominator, when we rename or when we borrow, the numerator should be the same as the denominator. So for example, in number 1, the denominator is 5. So when we borrow from 1, 1 will be 5/5. Okay? So it's like we have the 5/5, then we will add it to the 2/5. Then minus the 4/5. So what is 5 plus 2? 7. Copy 5. So it's 7/5 minus the 4/5. Now we can subtract 4 from 7. And 7 minus 4 is 3. Then copy the denominator, which is 5. Okay? So our final answer is 3/5. How about in here? We have 7 and 2/9 minus 3 and 5/9. So we cannot just subtract 7 minus 3 and then we have 2 minus 5. So we cannot take away 5 from 2. So what do? We will borrow again a whole. We'll borrow 1 whole from 7. So 7 will be 6. And when we rename again, we said that we should follow whichever is the denominator. It should be the same numerator and then the same denominator. So it's 9/9, right? So 7 will be 6 and 9/9. So it's like 6 and 9/9. It's still 7, right? Because 9/9 is 1 whole. We just rename them. Okay, so 6 and 9/9 plus 2/9 is 6, and 9 plus 2 is 11/9. 6 and 11/9. Okay, or you can just actually add the numerator and the denominator here. 2 plus 9. 6 and 11/9 minus 3 and 5/9. Now, can we subtract 5 from 11? Yes. So we can do that now. 6 minus 3, whole numbers first, since they are just the same denominators now. And we can subtract 5 from 11. So 6 minus 3 is 3. Then 11 minus 5 is 6. Then copy the denominator 9. But this is not our final answer yet, because 6/9 can still be simplified to 2/3. So our final answer is 3 and 2/3. Okay, that's how we do it. Okay, let's have the third example. Here we have 8 minus 2 and 1/7. Again, we cannot just subtract 2 and 1/7 from 8. We need to borrow 1 whole. The denominator is 7. So 8 will be 7 and 7 sevenths. It's still 8, right? Because 7 sevenths is 1. And 1 plus 7 is 8. We just rename it. Okay, so now we can subtract. So we have 7 and 7 sevenths minus 2 and 1 seventh. 7 minus 2 is 5. Then 7 minus 1 is 6. And copy the denominator 7. So our answer is 5 and 6 sevenths. So that's how you do it. Now it's your turn. Add or subtract, then simplify. Okay, remember, when adding similar fractions, add numerators, copy the denominator, then simplify. And when subtracting similar fractions, subtract the numerators, copy the denominator, then simplify. I hope you learned a lot from this video. God bless.